Hi, in this video I'm going to demonstrate an overview of the vSphere application and how to get started using a virtual machine. To start, I don't have it currently installed on this machine, so I'm going to download and install vSphere, which is the software we're going to be using in order to use the virtual machines for this class. So the first thing I need to do is I need to make sure I've got an HTTPS. The S is required. If you don't have that, you won't be able to download the software. So when you're typing this into the URL, you're just going to want to make sure it's https:// and then the URL is going to be appcc.fvtc.edu. Okay, so APP is short for Appleton. CC is control center is what it basically is. Somebody thought that was a cool sounding word. So it's appcc.fetc.edu. And if you don't have the HTTPS, you'll go to the wrong site. So I'm just going to hit enter. And I get a warning, a security warning. Hopefully this will get corrected sometime soon, but we don't have a valid certificate. So it's kind of annoying. We're going to have to continue to this website even though it's not recommended. So if you're using a different browser, you may get a different warning telling you that it's an invalid certificate. Unfortunately, right now, you're going to have to continue. So I got the red URL saying it's an invalid certificate, but I do see the spot where I can download the vSphere client. I do recommend downloading the vSphere client from this website. So I'm just going to click on the download, and I'm going to just save it. I'm going to save and run. So I'm just going to go through that process of downloading it and installing it. I'm going to say yes. So I'm just going to take the defaults. I'm going to go English. I don't see anything, but I'm going to assume that it's installing everything correctly. Okay, so it looks like I successfully installed the vSphere software. So to get it up and going so I can run it, what I will do is I'll click on my start button, and in the search I'll search for VM. I do see it right there. It may not always pop up as my recently used. So in the search, what I normally do is just type in either VM for VMware and let it pop up that way. Otherwise the VS for vSphere. So either way, I'll see the VMware software. So I'll get this dialog box, and in here I'm going to type in appcc.fvtc.edu. Now this time I do not prefix it with that HTTPS. If I did that, this would not work. So I need to make sure that I do not prefix it. It's just going to be appcc.fetc.edu. Then what I'll do is I'm just going to type in FETC / and then my student ID. So a lot of students will get the slash wrong. They'll do the /, and that will not work. It needs to actually be the /. If you struggle with the slash, it may be just as easy to do it like your email address, where it's a student ID at fetc.edu. Now it can't be your real email address. It needs to be that student ID at and then whatever the password is you use to log into Blackboard. So you could use the @ symbol, otherwise you could do FETC and then the backslash. Either one will work fine. You will get security warnings, and again that's the same certificate. If this does get corrected, these dialog boxes will go away, but for right now we're just going to ignore any type of certificate warning. So this is the default view that pops up. Normally what I'll do is I'll click on the VMs and templates, and I can pull this window around a little bit. I've got this body window and then a navigation window on the left hand side, and I expand all these plus symbols down, and normally you'll see like your instructor's name, whichever class it is. In this case it's got my class number on there. That may not always be like that. And then you should, in this class, see a bunch of machines. Now, in this specific instance, they all end in a 20. That's just my machine number. So every student will have a different machine number. And you should have 5 machines for this specific class. So we've got a 2003, 2008, a Tiger Box, Ubuntu, and then a Windows 7 machine. So at this point, I know everything's installed correctly. In the next video, I'll go over just the VM basics.